This is my neck, and according to many of you, it is the weakest aspect of my physique. And as a single guy, it turns out having a thick neck may be one of the fastest ways for me to look more attractive and build a more muscular physique. At least, that's what the internet keeps telling me.
You'll see these guys with big delts, wide shoulders, and their head is placed on this little
It's just
neck.
a popsicle on a stick.
Just take this photo on the right, his neck was photoshopped to be smaller. It should be obvious which version looks more masculine and muscular.
So for the next 100 days, I'm going to do neck training to find out how much of a difference it can actually make in improving my overall neck size and definition. And I'm gonna conduct an experiment to find out if having a thicker neck really does make you more attractive in the world of dating.
I think that a slightly larger neck is...
To track my progress through this goal, I'm measuring my current neck circumference, which comes in at just
14 inches.
And this pretty much puts me at the bottom of most charts that track neck size for men, which hopefully means I will have a long runway for improvement as I start training. I'm starting out with 3 sets of neck curls to target my sternocleidomastoid, which I believe should be the area of my neck where I'm most likely to notice visible changes through the course of my training.
How'd that feel?
Like I just discovered new muscles. Then 3 sets of plate-loaded neck extensions, targeting my neck flexors in the back of my neck. And finally 3 sets per side of lateral neck curls to finish things off. And since I'm gonna be putting so much effort into my neck for the next 100 days, I wanna try building my upper traps as well, which has consistently been one of the hardest muscles for me to grow. So hopefully I can finish things off, not just with a wider neck, but an overall more proportional and stronger looking physique across my neck, traps, and shoulders. Okay, so that was one of the weirdest workouts I have ever done. Each exercise felt like I was engaging muscle groups I never thought about until today. Even just on the neck curls, I could feel muscles in my jaw activating, just kind of hold my mouth shut as I was curling the weight. One of the weirdest workouts. I am being very careful to run through a full range of motion and stretching before each of these workouts to prevent injury, as pushing yourself too hard, too fast with these workouts is a pretty great way to guarantee yourself a really bad week of neck stiffness. As I got to experience during my 3rd week on this goal, which certainly made working at my laptop all day lots of fun, and trying to check my blind spot basically impossible. 4 days now since my last neck workout, and turning my head left or right, it still doesn't feel great. It does not feel great. While I'm recovering, I decided to start investigating the claim that building a thicker neck can actually make a guy more attractive to girls. So I called up some of my friends to find out. What would you say is the most attractive feature or muscle a guy can have?
This is so funny.
A feature or muscle?
I like when a guy is toned.
Confidence and personality.
Abs.
Full lips, nice smile, dimples, like anything like...
Taller than me.
They're strong, or they can like carry something heavy.
Muscle tone is just like a turn on.
How important would you say a guy's neck size is for attractiveness?
It's not.
I've never thought about how big a guy's neck was.
It doesn't really matter to me. The size of the neck.
I'm only gonna notice if it's really bad.
I'd like it to be existed.
I think I would only notice it if the guy had a massive neck to the point of where I found it to be like, ooh.
While none of the girls in my initial survey picked the neck as a man's most attractive feature, I'm more interested in finding out if the girls will rate a man with a larger neck more attractive compared to the same guy with a slimmer neck. Basically, how much does size matter? To find out, I asked Cam to help me with some headshots and, using the power of Photoshop, readjust the size of my neck. We'll be using my current neck as the control group versus a slightly larger neck that's close to the target I'm hoping to reach by the end of my training, and finally what we're calling the Giga neck. I shared these photos with each of the girls to find out which ones they would pick as the most attractive.
Oh God.
This honestly weighs very little to me as to like how attractive I would find you.
The shoulders also look a little bit bigger.
Number 3.
Maybe 2?
I think I'm gonna say number 2.
3 just feels like too big. I don't know.
Probably would be number 2.
I think I like 1 the best.
I think that a slightly larger neck is more attractive.
I think neck training is for the boys.
With some pretty mixed results from the girls I spoke to, I decided to expand my test online to get the best data possible. Hopefully this will tell me conclusively if having a larger neck actually will make you more attractive.
What the hell?
This video is sponsored by Element. Element is an electrolyte drink mix that is made with no sugar or artificial color and is designed to help you stay hydrated and perform at your best. Element is the official hydration partner of Team USA Weightlifting and has the endorsement from numerous professional athletes and neuroscientists, Huberman, and others. Element has become my go-to drink whenever I am weight training for a challenge like this, getting in my cardio, or if I'm just going to be working outside on a hot day. Not only does it give me the peace of mind knowing that I have all the electrolytes I need to stay hydrated, but I genuinely feel like I have even more gas in the tank when I am pushing myself at the end of a workout. With multiple flavors to choose from, it is easy to find an Element pack that you will love. Personally, some of my favorites have been their mango chili flavor, raspberry, and citrus. If you want to give Element a try for yourself, use the custom link in our description to get a free sample pack with your purchase. You can try Element completely risk-free because if you don't love it, they will refund your order, no questions asked. Again, use the link in our description to get a free sample pack, try a whole bunch of flavors, see which ones you like. And now, back to the video. I have just crossed the halfway point of this goal, and I am happy to report there have been no new instances of neck pain or neck stiffness. I feel like I have just been adapting to these workouts and getting better at pacing myself, and I genuinely feel like my neck is getting stronger. I've even started to notice when I flex in the mirror, I can actually see some visible changes coming in. They are pretty small, but it is absolutely progress. I also purchased the Iron Neck to help mix up some of my exercises. It was definitely an adjustment to get used to. Oh, that's so much harder.
You look insane.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, bro, you got the imprint. That was digging in.
That's crazy. The one problem is how little progress I feel like I have made in growing my upper traps. Doing all of these dumbbell shrugs has made virtually no impact on my muscle growth, and this just has me wondering, am I training my traps wrong? Why am I not seeing any progress?
When you start training your neck, it's not uncommon to see like an extra 2 inches in a few months. But upper traps can take a bit longer, because especially in daily life, it's not uncommon to carry around weights like a backpack or what have you, and actually contract your upper traps. So most people have already trained their upper traps to an extent, so they're not quite as responsive when you start training them at first.
This is Dr. Milo Wolf, a sports scientist and the founder of Wolf Coaching. I set up a call with Milo to get his feedback on my current traps exercises to see if there are better ways I could be optimizing my training and hopefully see some results.
All you're looking for when you're trying to isolate the upper traps is up and down motion. When you start involving some backwards component, like bringing your shoulders back, you are going to start involving some of your scapular retractors, like your mid traps and your lower traps, your upper back musculature in general. On the cable shrug, I would stand more directly over the cable and isolate the upper traps a little bit more. And then the second thing would be to incorporate slightly heavier loads and focus a bit more on the stretch. So even if you can't get all the way up here, even if you can just get halfway up, that'll allow you to handle much heavier loads and focus on the stretch a lot more. And based on the research out there, focusing on that stretch with those muscles is likely going to benefit you and grow bigger traps and bigger neck overall.
After talking to Milo, I almost immediately started feeling much more engagement when I was training my upper traps, especially incorporating the half reps at the end to take each of my sets all the way to failure. He even gave me advice to speed up my neck training by focusing on the handful of muscles that should produce the greatest results.
The 3 main muscle groups I would focus on are 1, the upper traps, like you have been, the neck flexors, so any plate neck curl can help, and the neck extensors. So you don't need to add in a ton of lateral flexion work or rotation work. Just with those 3 movements, you'll be building a lot of muscle today.
Sorry.
I am never doing these workouts at a public gym ever again. Never. Besides having one of the most embarrassing encounters I have ever had at the gym, I can tell from my footage that my neck is absolutely getting bigger as a result of this training. And I think my neck is probably as large as it appears in the photo 2 options at this point. One thing that I do know for sure is I am absolutely getting stronger as a result of this training. I have been consistently going heavier with my trap shrugs to the point where I actually had to purchase wrist straps so that my grip is no longer the limiting factor on the exercise. And it just feels like each week I am lifting heavier and heavier. As for all of the direct neck work I have been doing, well, here is the result of all of that training.
have your shot yet?
So actually I've gone from curling a 10-pound plate on day 1 to now being able to curl up to 30 pounds. So while there have been some strength gains, they've been relatively modest. As for whether or not this training has actually improved my looks, it turns out in our final survey, women overwhelmingly chose the slightly larger neck option over both my original photos and the Giga neck, which suggests having a slightly larger neck can make you more attractive if it's proportional with the rest of your physique. What does this mean for my own attractiveness after doing 100 days of neck training?
Dang.
What do we got?
This is saying 15.25.
All right.
15.25?
My neck grew just under 1.5 inches in 100 days, but to me what really jumps out more than the size increase are the visible striations I can now see across the front of my neck, and even some improved definition through my upper traps as well. And regardless of the survey results, I am genuinely happy with the results of my training and the way I look. So to that one subscriber who has been telling me to train my neck and my traps for the past 3 years, you were right. So thanks.
That's actually crazy.